6, a rates resolution. Mr. Neil Ward.
Good afternoon, Councillors. This is just the item to follow on after the adoption of the long-term plan that allows us now to implement the long-term plan and collect the money to enable us to do that. So I'll take it as read. Unless there's any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Any questions of Mr. Ward?
Mr. Chairman, just a point of clarification. This resolution is to enable us as a council to strike the rates. Is that correct?
Correct. So the legal process is that you first must adopt the long-term plan or an annual plan in an annual plan cycle, and the very next thing you must do is to do a rates resolution under the Local Government Rating Act, which sets out, as this does, the various rates and what they are, and the due dates for payment and the due dates for penalties.
So that if it's not passed, we can't do the rating, so it needs to be passed.
That is correct. If you do not pass this, you do not pass go. We might as well go home now.
This council's had fun in the past, hasn't it, with various reasons?
Oh, we have fun all the time.
It's a fun council. All right. Any other questions of Mr. Ward? No? Okay. Suggested resolution there, moved by Councillor Park, seconded by Councillor Boddy. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item number 7. Request for an extension of the Taupo sidewalk and street cleaning contract. Who's doing that one? Mr. Lewis? He's asleep, I think. Okay, Dennis, this continuation of a existing supplier, is that right?
Your Worship, yes, this is for the 5th year of an extension of the contract for the cleaning of the footpaths and curb and channels and the CBD and other discrete areas like the AC baths, and as I said, it's the 5th year extension of a current contract, and I'd take the report as read and take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Councillor Jollins.
Thank you, Your Worship. Mr. Lewis, just a question of clarification. The contract was assigned to Intergroup during the contractual period. Can I just understand what that was?
Intergroup purchased the company that originally won the contract.
Okay, so, all right. I just needed to understand how that worked. Thank you.
Chairman, a question? First, does this company operate in other towns around New Zealand? So it's not
Yes, it does.
Okay. This might sound daft. I always see the guy with the vacuum cleaner picking up the butts out of the gutter, etc. Is he part of that?
No, he's not part of that.
Okay, so what exactly they're part of our town cleaning then? What streets do they do?
As I said earlier, it's generally the CBD, the curb and channel and the footpaths, and then other discrete areas like just in front of the office here up by the AC baths. And typically you won't see them because they usually start about 4 o'clock in the morning and are finished by about 6 or 6:30 in the morning.
So do they do the alleyways up past some of the restaurants which are looking a bit grubby?
They do public streets, and so some of
Not alleyways?
Well, it depends what you mean by an alleyway. They do some of the access lanes that go off some of our main streets in the CBD are public streets, and they'll do the public streets, but they don't do private alleyways.
So the one that goes up Robert Street and ends up by the Tuwhatoa car park, that's not part of it? Because I've had complaints about how dirty that looks. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Cool. Straightforward. Thank you, Dennis. Suggested resolution there, moved by Councillor Park, seconded by Councillor Stewart. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Item number 8, Museum and Library. Supply and delivery of the shelf-ready materials. Louisa. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So this report that I take that you've already read is is seeking Council's approval to join the Bay of Plenty Regional Library Group contract for the selection, cataloguing, processing and supply of collections. We have an annual budget of $310,000 approved in the LTP over the next 3 years. This cost includes selection, processing and cataloguing costs, so that the books arrive shelf ready. The Council went out to tender for supply in April of this year. We went out for a 3-year contract plus one renewal. 4 tender proposals were received. We also went out as part of a Bay of Plenty Library Group contract as well. That was with Rotorua Libraries, Western Bay of Plenty, Whakatane and Kaurolo Libraries. And that was for a period of 1 year plus one, and there is an error in your report, I apologise, and it's plus one renewal. 8 tender proposals were received. The reason we went out for 2 was to make sure that we could get a July 1st start date for for a contract, and we also wanted to make sure we secured the best price. The tenders were evaluated using a weighted attribute method, and the Bay of Plenty Library Group tender came in, the Taupo District Council's tender came in at a higher cost compared to the regional Bay of Plenty Library Group tender. This was based on average prices quoted in the tender contract. We can expect to get more titles for the same price going with a group contract. It will also allow us to try and achieve the public library standards for a recommended minimum level of 350 titles per 1,000 population. Yeah. Any questions?
Any questions? So the actual price, I'm just trying to work out, is there an actual price or not, or is that the price per book?
$310,000.
You've already adopted, through you, Mr. Chairman, you've already adopted the budget in your last item in the long-term plan, so this isn't like a normal tender where you're issuing a tender for a set price. This is a per book up to the budget that you've just approved in the long-term plan.
Right. Okay.
So it's slightly different to the normal...
okay, and so what you're saying is, under our normal tender process, it was $27.64 per, say, adult fiction, but with the regional group, you're at $26.83?
That's right.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a saving, but not overly, well... Yeah.
Well, it ends up, as I say in the report, over 700 more titles just in those 4 categories alone, on average.
Cool. Yep.
And Mr. Chairman, the 300,000 is inflation adjusted in the long-term plan. Yes. So effectively, we don't have to put in this inflation adjusted. Okay.
Councillor Jollins?
Just a query as the library manager, is there any difference between the variety of choice that you have with the different suppliers? Like, I know we've got it a price per book, but with Bay of Plenty, your choices won't be compromised?
Absolutely not. There is the potential for the group to work together on a coordinated basis if we wanted to, but we would still continue, certainly, to select what we want for our libraries. Our suppliers, with this contract, we have multiple suppliers, so we retain our specialist supply as well as the mixed general supply that we need.
Right, no, that's good to hear, because I know price is an important factor, but also being able to get access to the variety is also crucial to get people through those doors, particularly our younger people.
Yep, so you see that we've got 6 suppliers.
Great, thank you.
Cool. Councillor Harvey?
Is there the opportunity for the Taupo District's library to match the Bay of Plenty price?
Well, we're suggesting the Bay of Plenty price here. That's what Lewis is suggesting, because that's a cheaper price.
So they've both been offered to us by suppliers. The Taupo District Council, what's their libraries tender versus the regional, and the regionals come out cheaper. So the suggestion is let's do that. I guess what that also does is enables us to work more regionally. It's another step along that way. the regional libraries are all looking at things like one membership card across all of the libraries and things like that. So the question previously about variety, if you've got a certain thing which doesn't get a lot of use in one particular area, this enables us to all have access to it, so it's sort of working smarter, I guess.
Yeah, I think in terms of regional collaboration, it's a positive.
We already share a platform with the Bay of Plenty libraries for our e-books.
Shared services working at its best.
It is.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, thanks, Larissa. Any other questions or queries for that? And this suggested resolution there. And just thank you all for all the work, and if you pass on to the team down there again while you take the opportunity while you're here, the wonderful feedback that we get about the library and the museum and that sort of thing. So just appreciate all the good work you do. Could I have a mover for the... Thank you, Councillor Jollins, seconded by Councillor Hickling. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 9. Morning. Afternoon, Ella. Amendment to the Kinloch Reserve Management Plan, mobile kiosk.
I'll just quickly introduce this item. We have Simon Jolly from Chris Jolly and Hendon from Pack and Pedal here today to answer any questions you may have on the proposal. So they've approached us to set up a mobile mountain biking kiosk on the Kinloch domain. The proposal is supported by Bike Taupo, and the location of the proposed mobile kiosk supports the use of Bike Taupo's bike shelter as the hub for mountain biking in Kinloch, and in turn that will also help to promote that area as being the hub for mountain biking and locate vehicle traffic to that reserve rather than the lakefront. As the activity isn't provided for in the reserve management plan, the first step is to consult with the public on amending it. That may bring to light further issues or community feel on the proposal. So the recommended resolution there is to undertake public consultation. And it just so happens that policy are consulting on some other matters in Kinloch, so we can do that alongside that process shortly.
Cool. Thanks, Ellen. And good afternoon, Simon and Hendon. Good to see you. So this looks pretty straightforward to me. Any questions of Ella? Councillor Hickling?
I just wonder whether we could have a response from the two promoters.
You want to come forward, Simon and Hendon?
Just in terms of probably what you expect to sell, because we've got a dairy just at the side, only 20 metres or 30 metres away. There's that dairy, cafeteria, whatever. And obviously, we've got to be careful that...
Yeah, sure. We were sort of aware about that issue. We are looking at providing, it's a hub for 3 operators to work out of. Currently there is nowhere in Kinloch that we can do that. Myself with a boat in the marina. Hendon with the ability to provide mountain bike hire out there, and also to provide
maintenance, repairs.
Okay, so it's not like selling ice creams and...
There's no food.
It's not. Okay, I'm just trying to get the feel for that, because obviously we've...
We were aware of that issue.
Okay, good.
Mostly the necessities, inner tubes, tyres, chains,
okay, that's fine. Okay, good.
I think just the outstanding success of the track, like the movements there, I think they'd planned for about 3,000 or 4,000 a year, but how many a year is it, Ella, of that track? Do you know?
Oh, huge.
Yeah, 30,000 or something?
Just for the Waihora Trail.
Yeah.
4,000.
Yeah, so obviously you see an opportunity there where people are asking for these sort of services.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So good on you, and thank you for being entrepreneurial about it and coming in. Any other questions or queries for Simon or Hendon? No, you don't foresee it with the public consultation process. So what does that? How wide do you go in that scenario?
Hillary and Nick are sending out flyers on the Scotsman ramp and the access to the Keeper Place Reserve.
Yep.
So I'll just simply put another page feedback.
Another page.
Proposal,
yeah.
And it'll go out to, I think it's going out to all the Kinloch residents.
So just that Kinloch rating base around the Kinloch area? Yep, cool. Okay.
What's the timing on that? When will that go out?
Who to mention? It's got grandstands, so
Cool.
Okay.
Has Simon, any of you talked to the Kinloch Residents Association or any of those organisations yet? No. Okay. But no doubt that'll take place in time. Yeah, cool. Very good. Okay. Councillor Harvey.
I think it's a great idea, and I think we should move the resolution.
Thank you very much, Councillor Harvey.
agreeing with you, Rosie.
Wow.
Councillor.
And that's been seconded by Councillor Truman by the look of it. Yep. She's quite keen. Yeah. Okay, thanks guys. Good to see you, and we'll await the outcome of public consultation. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Item 10. Oh, Tina Arena.
Thank you, Your Worship. So a list of engagements for July. There's no additions to that I'm aware of, and there's also the request there for council representative on greening Taupo steering group.
Great, thanks Tina. Okay, sorry I haven't sort of canvassed any particular councillors on the interest in greening Taupo group. Wonderful group that they've got going there. Is there any?
Well, since I have what you might class as spare time, since I'm not on the spatial plan now, I'm quite happy to be on this committee. If there's any other councillors are interested, happy to discuss.
Okay. Any other councillors interested?
Moves it.
The plant from Manalva.
I'll move it.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for that offer, Councillor Jollins. I've got a tree in my office actually that I can give to you to give to them because given to me on the weekend, so it might be your first job. All right. So the information we received, those dates are all correct, Tina, and all ready to go. Nothing else to add in there. Okay, 1 and 2.
Just to clarify, sorry, Your Worship, when is the LGNZ conference in Rotorua? Of July, isn't it?
So we've done all that formally? It's all been booked and done? Yeah, cool. Okay, 1 and 2 resolution. Moved by Councillor Park, seconded by Councillor Stewart. That Councillor Jollins be appointed to greening Taupo. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 11 is members' reports. I'd like to
Could I just
end them in?
clarification what actually should be in them? The way I'm not sure whether we write down every meeting we attend, like our Fred committees, our emergency management. Is it things outside what committees we're on?
You put anything you like.
Outside, really. Normally I do. Yeah.
Fortunately, in the last one, and I'll bring it up when we go into confidence, so there was a part of our confidential was named in one of the reports, and as the public, and we haven't taken that out of confidence. But I'm just wondering what we should actually be putting in there.
It's up to I would say up to the councillor involved. We have a meeting. Yeah,
I think potentially normal council meetings or committees of council you probably don't need to put in, but it's about those committees that you have been put on to represent council.
Or go to,
or go to functions, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be handing them in to Janie. Okay, we'll receive those reports. Moved by Councillor Christowski, seconded by Councillor Truman. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Okay, the confidential part, resolution to exclude the public. Vicky, moved by Councillor Hickling, seconded by Councillor Harvey.